back to another stream, and this time it was scheduled. So today's topic is, I'm really actually pretty excited about it, and for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome, hello, hi, how are you? My name is Tanji. I'm creator of Tanji Beauty. Moving on. So I wanted to talk about particularly, sorry, I'm carrying this. I wanted to talk about these two products here, and this is the DePeau Beaute concealer. I have two shades. This is the Almond and the Ochre, and here's the thing, like, I have been on the hunt for concealers for so long. Like, I have dry, textured, sensitive under eyes, and they just, like, anytime I put on some kind of matte concealer or like a just any concealer, it either doesn't give me the coverage I want, it gets crepey, or like I have these like little bumps under my under eyes, and it really enhances the skin texture, and I just don't like them. But then I found these guys, and they were so expensive that I was like really sweating. Like when I was making this purchase, my armpits were like water. It was like a waterfall. I know, gross. Too much details. But I really loved them, and I was planning to actually return like the ochre color, but I found it was best to keep it just because it matched my skin so well. And I'll show you kind of, we're going to go over like the differences between the two colors, and I am going to demo out these swatches. So I'm going to use Almond for my under eyes, both of them, and on this side we'll be doing it without any kind of prepping, so like no moisturizers or anything like that, just with the concealer itself. And then on this eye, what I'm going to show you is basically a what do you call it, my regular concealer routine. So on this eye, I'll be showing you what I put on it. So I usually go with a moisturizer plus a sorry, I'm saying a lot but if we're going to go in with the moisturizer, then we're going to go in with the NYX Cosmetics color correcting, just so I can get underneath the dark circles under my eyes, and then I proceed to do the actual product itself, which is the DePeau concealer. So we're gonna go into like details of like kind of why I like it, and like, you know, how much, like how long I've used it for, and why I think it's pretty good for its price point. So let's get started. Yes. Okay. Oops, dropped something. It's okay. So first things first, I will swatch on this side. Well, actually no. Before we even swatch on the eye, let me just swatch it on the arm first. So we'll swatch on the arm first, then I'll use Almond on the eye. So again, I did, oops, door closed by itself. So we have, the mic is not in front of me. Ooh, I'm sorry. Can you guys couldn't, if you guys couldn't hear me at first, here, we'll just get you a little bit closer. Yeah, that might help. Whoops. Okay, so swatches. So we're gonna do ochre first, and for DePeau's color spectrum, they don't have a lot for the deep colored spectrum, but they do have a lot for the fair to medium. I feel like for those of you who struggle with getting the right concealer color under your eyes, especially if it looks too pink or too yellow for you, I think these just might be the one, because it doesn't give you that super pink under eye. You don't look orange. You just look normal. I would say, like, for those of you who have like beige undertone and like lean, like just a hair yellow and like a hair pink, like this is the stuff. Okay, this is it. So we're gonna swatch ochre on the hand. And we're in natural lighting right now, so hopefully it doesn't look super warm to you guys. But I'm going to let you see what it looks like on my wrist. So, whoop, dropped another thing. Picked it up with my foot like a normal person does. So here is the color, and then we're going to go kind of up close. There we go. So you can kind of see in natural lighting, it has kind of like a yellowish undertone, but this looks like a lot because of the fact that this is a full coverage concealer. So if we just kind of blend it out ever so slightly, it's really easy to blend, it's really creamy, and it's actually really lightweight, and if you can kind of tell, it does have that glow, like skin-like finish to it too. So, and when I use this like on my the other areas of my face, like aside from my under eyes, I like right here where I usually have like acne scars, it covers really really well. Like all the dark pigmentation just kind of goes away, and I usually like to put it like a little bit lower on my cheeks as well, because if you can see, I do have a little bit of dark pigmentation here, and it's normal. I also am not really an avid sunscreen wearer, so that's my fault. So here, again, this one, undertone whites, it's a little bit on like, it's a great balance between pink and yellow. It's not necessarily neutral because it doesn't have that white kind of undercast. And if you get the almond shade is a little bit lighter. I would say these two are the closest pairings to each other, but if you go on their website, you're more than welcome to actually talk to an associate, and they can help you pick out a color, and if you don't like the color, it's easily returnable, no questions asked. It can be hard to find in the department stores because I know they sell it at Macy's or in Nordstrom, because of the fact that they might not have all the colors that you're looking for. Like they might have certain spectrums, and I find that when I was there, like when I asked I asked the associate for like the color almond or ochre, and she's like, we don't have that. We have like O10, and the colors just weren't the same. So I'm pretty sure they upgraded their formula since then. So go on the website. That's probably the best thing that you could do for yourself. Now for almond, the shade, is this too bright? Let me see. Oops. Oh no, that's too dark. That might be okay. We'll see. I'll turn it back up if it's not, because I'm looking at the monitor right now, and just playing it by ear. Okay, so this is almond. It is a lighter shade than ochre. So here, we'll swatch it right next to each other, so I still have it on. This is what it kind of looks like half-ass blended out. And here we'll put almond. There. So this is almond. Almond is definitely more of like a yellower base, but I can pull them off on my skin. Like this one, I would be able to use more like on my entire face, whereas this one I particularly use underneath my under eyes because it's a little bit more brightening. So if we let's give you guys like a zoom in look. I hope you guys can see that. Okay, so let's drag it down, and again, little goes a long way. And this finish, even though again, as I said, it has that glow to it, it's considered a kind of a matte finish with a dewy glow. I hope that makes sense. So here, let's get you. That's right, it's right here. And this is where the other one is. So you can tell that this one is slightly lighter, and then this one's slightly darker. Cool. Next, we're going to do the demonstration, and you kind of get to see what it looks like underneath my eyes. But before we do it, I want to show you what my under eyes actually look like so you can see the actual difference. So let's show you my under eye area. So this is kind of what it looks like. The sun is kind of hitting it at an odd angle, so I feel like I look more yellow than I usually do. But anyways, hopefully this works. Sorry, I don't have like, this is what I have right now, so I gotta work with it. Okay, so this right here, to describe it to you, my under eye is more of a bluish brown under eye undertone, so it kind of makes me look more tired than I usually do. Oh, it's actually showing up really well. Okay, cool. So that's basically like, it's mostly in this area, and you can tell like I have really 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 fine lines, but if I were to put the wrong concealer and the wrong texture on my eyes, it really enhances it a lot. So here's my other under eye. So this is again where it is. And then these are the little bumps that I'm talking about on my skin. Like, I used to be very self-conscious of them, but I'm skin, it's normal. So that's what it looks like. And then over here, I don't have really anything, but I like to drag my concealer out this way, so it gives me two things. It helps me cover the blemishes under my cheeks here, and then it kind of lifts my eye. So we're going to basically, I'm going to show you what it looks like. So let's do that. And let's start with almond, as we were planned to do. Now, I want to show you also how much I actually have left. And it's been about 2 months since I purchased this. So I'm just going to put some underneath my eye, and I'll show you what the inside of this looks like. Because tube-wise, each concealer is like $75, and each one contains 0.17 ounces, which may be really, really, really little to some people, but like this is what, like, how much I used in like 2 months, because I only need literally this much. So that's how much left, and then you still have like this whole stick, and this is all the way up, which will last me personally a long time. I, on a weekly basis, will use concealer at least like 4 times a week for all my like eye looks. So that's quite a lot, I would say, because considering like I never really used concealers ever until I met these guys. So okay, so this is what I have underneath the eye. So before I blend, I want to show you what it looks like. I really just dot it on this side, and again, it doesn't have any product underneath aside from like me washing my face, which is basically, after washing my face, I just have moisturizer. So nothing to really impact how this works by itself. So here I have my sponge, and then I'm just going to blend it into my eye area. Now keep in mind, when you do blend your concealer, if it breaks down, it could be the fact that you're not, or like you have too much moisture in your beauty blender. So make sure when you're blending in concealer that you don't have too much moisture or too much oil. You want just enough to where like it gives you a nice like moisturization and it's not dry. But if it's too like oily, like you just put a couple tablespoons of like cooking oil or something on your skin, you don't want that. So la 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 la. Ooh, look at that. Do you see my eyeball move? Crazy. Okay, so that was just one swipe, and here's what it looks like compared to the other side. Cool. Now I'm just gonna step back and then kind of let you guys see the difference. Again, this side doesn't have any. Oh, this side has some, sorry. This side doesn't have any. And then here is the front. So you can kind of see that this side is brighter. I am going to layer on one more just so you can kind of see if it does congeal or do anything weird, if you do want that extra layer. So one more layer on this side. And again, I just dot it right around the cheek area, kind of dragging it low underneath the eye, so I have this here going on. If your under eye creases more, you don't have to take it out all the way. This is just the way I do it. So here, let's let you see what it looks like. And we are blending. And the nice part about this too, as you're blending, it just kind of melts into the skin. And even if you put a lot, it doesn't enhance, like I found it doesn't actually enhance the pores on my skin. So if you look closely, like these are my pores here, and when I kind of go over them, they actually make it look a little bit more minimized. I hope you can kind of see just a little bit. So I like that. I like that product does that. Sometimes like things are just too like heavy that it's not good. It just enhances everything. Okay, so I think we are all blended, and I'll show you kind of what it looks like. I'm going to bring the light down just a hair so you can kind of see a little bit better. Okay, so that's what it looks like with the light a little bit lower. And then this is it when the light again is lower, and then my face is like away from the camera, so there's not too much light reflecting on it, so you can actually see what it looks like. Okay, so you can see how luminous it is here. And then this side, I will basically show you my full routine. So we'll go ahead and get started with that. So the first thing I do before even like going into concealer and color correcting is I add like a moisturizer. Usually I would go in with Tatcha's, I think something fell, Ageless Renewal eye cream. But for today, we will be using something I dropped. And oh shoot, okay. We're going to be using the Tatcha Serum Stick. Did I drop like a really important thing? Yeah, I did. Oh, come on, come on, come on. I dropped the what'd you call it? I dropped this. This is very important. This is the color corrector I use. Wow, I look like a hot mess after coming back. Okay. So, next, Tatcha. So the serum stick, I actually just place underneath my eye and I just give it one little swipe. And the important part and the reason why I do this is because with dry and textured under eyes, you're going to get more texture if you put something matte on top of it that is also oil controlling. So you are going to get more texture underneath. And I found that out like pretty recently and I was just like, oh, this actually works. So now I always moisturize underneath my eyes. So now, after the serum stick kind of sets in, it's great hydration, by the way, I like it. So, it's not too sticky either. Okay, so after that, what I do is I try to cover or color correct underneath my eye areas, particularly here, and keeping the color corrector here. So I start off by using the yellows and pinks in it because one of the colors, I can't remember on the top of my head. I know what it is, but I just can't remember. But so this color, oh yes, this color, I believe cancels out a little bit the brown tones, and then the pink cancels out the blue tones. So I mix them together, so it kind of gives you that nice, like even coverage. And you only need a little bit. So we're gonna go in with the pink first, and we're going to go and just dot it on to the eye, and that's pretty much all I really need. And then next I add the yellow, and I take a little bit and I just kind of add it right on top. And if there's any excess on the brush, if I want to, I just kind of put it on the side randomly. This I also kind of dot in the areas where I have brown pigmentation because it helps brighten those areas and also conceals them. So next, you don't blend in this part. At least I don't, because it'll remove the coverage of the color corrector, and that just kind of defeats the purpose of a color corrector. So what I do is actually take the shade Almond and I stipple it on top of the color corrector and then blending it out. So we are going to take Almond and we're going to take it and then we're going to do little dotting motions. So I'll show you kind of up close what I do. So we're going to go like that. Just very small dots, and I'm not dragging it because then I'll drag everything else underneath, so I don't want to do that. Okay, there we go. And I don't put it like directly underneath my eye because as I blend, it's going to blend up and down, so I don't really need to put it directly underneath my eye area. And you're going to put shadow there anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Now we're going to blend gently. You're just going to tap in the product, and then you can see how it just kind of drags out, and it's really, really, really smooth. Here we go. Okay, and we're just blending continuously to get that nice flawless finish. I do have eyeshadow underneath here too, so that's why I didn't do that area either. Okay, now I'm stepping back and you can kind of see so far what it looks like. I'm going to turn the light down too on my camera so that way you can hopefully see the difference between the two. but you can definitely see, like for me, on my, like what I see on the camera, this side is definitely more luminous because we put the hydration on, and texture wise isn't as noticeable as this side. There. It's hard to describe, especially like you're over camera. Like if I allowed you to, like, and you guys were like with me, I would let you touch like here versus here. This side is just so smooth, and this side I can still feel the bumps a little bit. So it's important to prep your under eye. All right, we're good. I think we're good. If I would go, I would probably go back and put a little bit more of the color corrector. I can't really tell. Oh, let me just grab a little bit more. So we can see how it layers too. This is just the pink, and I'm putting a little bit more of the yellow. Okay. And then I'm just doing tapping motions. Now if you want more coverage and you're afraid of it actually like completely dragging out, and your skin isn't typically as sensitive as mine, you could definitely use a brush. Here. So there we go. It's not as noticeable. Okay, so now you can see like this side is much more bright than this side is because we did add the color corrector. And now I'm going to turn down the light so you can kind of see what it looks like. There we go. So, very luminous, very cute. Nah, yeah, awake, like you woke up like this, yeah. And that's pretty much it. Wearability wise, I find that it's great when you're going on for like an 8-hour day. I just put a little bit of finishing powder and then like tap a little bit of setting spray into it so it doesn't move. It's one of those concealers. This is like me, like normally. Like if I go out and I go grocery shopping and stuff, like this is all like maximum what I would put on my face because it looks normal. It looks like my skin. Sometimes when I put like a full coverage concealer on, it looks like I got full coverage concealer on, so it has this like super, like even if I blend it out, no matter how much I blend it out, it just looks like a white cast. Like it wasn't the right color or anything like that. So I like it. I feel like it's a really great investment. It is awesome for those of you who have, again, dry, sensitive skin. And again, we demoed it out. If you wanted to just use it by itself, it's not a big difference from this side, but I do, again, if you want to incorporate into your routine, make sure you prep and you'll get a nice, like, nicer skin-like finish. If you want to go out with just the regular product, it doesn't impact it either way. So, love it. And that's pretty much it. I said that like twice, but now that's it. So, if you guys like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Toodaloo. Get yourself some DePeau. It's not sponsored. I buy my own stuff with my own money, so it's good stuff. See you guys. Where's my mouse? Ow! I caught my sleeve. Bye. Love you.